Chosen one, they're trying to destroy you, but God's judgment is already set. Chosen ones, rise up and listen closely. The moment someone dares to plot against you, they're not just picking a fight. They're stepping into a divine trap they can't escape. They thought their lies, schemes, and malicious intentions could crush you, dim your light, and tear you down. But here's the unyielding truth. You are never alone in this battle, and God has already set his judgment in motion. Those who come for you are writing their own downfall, brick by brick, with every envious glance and hateful word. Did you know that 95% of those who scheme against others end up facing consequences they never saw coming? Whether it's karma, divine retribution, or their own self-inflicted ruin? That's not just a number, it's a universal truth. And when they target a chosen one, those odds hit an absolute 100%. Attacking someone anointed by God is like throwing a stone at the sky, thinking it won't come crashing back. Newsflash, it does, and it hits harder than they could ever imagine. Their plans are already unraveling, and God's justice is waiting in the wings, ready to strike. Stay with me, because what's coming will make you wonder why anyone would dare cross a chosen one. When they try to destroy you, they're not just fighting a person, they're challenging a divine force they can't comprehend. Every arrow they aim at you is destined to return, sharper and heavier than they sent it. The universe operates on a principle of reflection. What you put out comes back, magnified. When someone throws hatred, jealousy, or deceit your way, it doesn't just fade, it gathers strength, fueled by their own darkness, and boomerangs back to them with devastating force. They think they're in control, but they're crafting their own demise. Chosen ones are wrapped in a spiritual armor, an unseen shield that turns their attacks into dust. The more they push, the more they're crushed by the weight of their own malice. They set snares for you, but they're the ones caught, tangled in the chaos of their own making. Their obsession with your destruction becomes their prison. They can't stop, even as their world falls apart. Relationships fracture, peace evaporates, and their plans crumble like ash. They're not just fighting you, they're battling a divine power that's already declared you untouchable. And while they burn in the fire of their own hatred, you walk forward, unscathed, shining brighter than ever. God's justice isn't a wild swing, it's a precision strike, calculated and unstoppable. When he moves to protect his chosen, it's not random. It's a tailored response that hits exactly where it needs to. Every lie they told, every plot they hatched, every whisper of harm, it's all accounted for in God's ledger. He doesn't just react, he orchestrates. Their moves are seen long before they're made, their steps counted before they take them. The traps they lay for you become the pits they fall into. The punishment isn't vague, it's personal, striking at what they hold dear. Their pride, their status, their stability. It's not chance or coincidence, it's divine design. God lets them think they're winning, lets them build their schemes higher, only to watch them collapse under the weight of their own arrogance. You don't need to lift a hand. God's justice works independently, dismantling their lies, exposing their motives, and breaking their attacks with surgical accuracy. When it's over, there's no mistaking it. Their downfall was no accident. It was divine, deliberate, and deserved. You, chosen one, are a walking antidote to their poison. Your very existence disrupts their darkness. You don't have to try, your light exposes their flaws, their insecurities, their hidden shame. To those consumed by envy or malice, your presence is a threat they can't ignore. They lash out, thinking they can dim your glow. But every attack only amplifies their own toxicity. You're not just surviving their schemes, you're unraveling them, turning their poison against them. They can't fathom why their plans fail, why their lives spiral when they come for you. It's because you operate on a higher frequency, untouchable by their low vibrations. Their hatred weakens against your strength. Their schemes dissolve in your light. They're playing a losing game, and the more they try, the worse it gets for them. Your purpose, your purity, your divine alignment, these are your weapons, and they're enough to render their attacks powerless. Their obsession with you is their slow poison. It starts small, a bitter thought, a jealous stare, but it grows, consuming their mind, their energy, their life. They can't focus on their own path because they're fixated on destroying yours. This obsession becomes a cycle of self-destruction. The more they pour into harming you, the more they lose peace, clarity, relationships, everything. They neglect their own lives, blinded by their need to see you fall. But you don't. You rise untouched while their world crumbles. Their hatred doesn't reach you. It festers within them, eating away at their sanity, their health, their legacy. They isolate themselves, trapped in a prison of their own making, chasing a victory they'll never achieve. Their fixation is their undoing, a self-inflicted wound they can't heal, all because they couldn't let go of you. God is the ultimate strategist, setting traps they can't see. They think they're the predators, but they're the prey, walking blindly into divine snares. Every scheme, every betrayal, every malicious act is a step closer to their own judgment. God doesn't just shield you. He uses their plans as bait, letting them believe they're winning until the moment the trap springs. Their confidence is their blindness, their arrogance, their downfall. The harder they push, the deeper they sink, ignoring the signs of divine intervention all around them. God's traps are patient, subtle, inevitable. When they snap shut, everything collapses. Their alliances, their lies, their illusions of control. What they meant to harm you becomes their ruin, and you walk away stronger, protected, untouchable. You're surrounded by invisible shields, layers of divine protection they can't penetrate. There's your spiritual armor, forged in divine favor, deflecting their attacks before they land. There's divine timing, placing you exactly where you need to be, out of harm's reach. And there are the prayers and blessings of those before you, anchoring you against any storm. They see only their frustration, their plans failing again and again, but they don't see the forces at work, the power that intercepts their schemes, the shields that guard your path. They're fighting a battle they can't win against a force they don't understand. You are sacred ground, chosen one. Attacking you is a spiritual crime, a trespass against divine authority. You're marked, set apart, guarded by powers they can't fathom. They cross sacred boundaries, blinded by greed or rage, and trigger consequences they can't escape. Their punishment is swift, targeted, severe, striking their health, their peace, their plans. They're not just fighting you, they're defying God himself. Sacred ground cannot be violated without cost, and their fate is sealed the moment they try. Their destruction comes in waves, peeling away their lives layer by layer. First, their peace dissolves, restless nights, constant unease. Then their relationships fracture, friends drift, bonds break. Finally, their health and legacy crumble. Stress consumes them, illnesses arise, their name fades into obscurity. Each wave is a reminder. They're reaping what they sowed, and there's no stopping it. The harder they fight, the more they suffer. Every attack tightens the noose of their own making. They think they're advancing, but they're accelerating their fall. Resisting divine will doesn't just bring failure, it brings pain. Their peace slips, their connections fray, their well-being fades. The more they push, the faster they unravel, trapped in a losing battle against a plan greater than themselves. They're not fighting you, they're fighting God. They see you as the obstacle, but you're backed by divine forces they can't touch. Their schemes are futile, intercepted by powers beyond their grasp. They can't outmaneuver divine will or overpower divine protection. Every move exposes their folly, and they fall, broken, wondering why they failed. The answer is simple. They never stood a chance. Your presence is a catalyst, chosen one. You force others to face their darkness. For some, this sparks change, pushing them toward redemption. For others, it's too much. They reject growth and spiral into ruin. Either way, you shake their core, leaving them transformed for better or worse. God's timing is the final word. They may think they're winning now, their schemes succeeding for a moment. But divine timing is never late. Their victories are fleeting, a pause before the storm. Every act of harm, every lie catches up to them, swift, precise, unavoidable. God gives them time to turn back, but when it runs out, judgment arrives with finality. Their lies unravel, their betrayal exposed, their plans crushed. There's no escaping divine justice. In the end, chosen ones are untouchable, guided by divine hands. Those who try to break you are crafting their own demise. They may not see it, lost in their pride, but they're up against forces they can't defeat. Your strength isn't in fighting back, it's in your divine alignment. You don't need revenge. The universe handles it all. They'll either find redemption through your light or face the consequences of their darkness. You are sacred, protected, unstoppable. Let them come, let them try. They'll only prove what's already true. Their fate is sealed. If this resonates, hit subscribe, share with someone who needs to hear it. Like the video and drop a comment. Let's keep this fire burning. You're not alone, and the best is yet to come.